Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Breaking the Clutch. My name is Slick, and today we are going into an in-depth review of the Flood mod from Blackandfan and his Halo Wars 2 Overhaul mod showcase. I'm actually going to be going over multiple leaders that he has created that are not in the original version of the game over the coming weeks. This is the first one I'm going to do. Of course, we uploaded that Flood video and you guys absolutely loved it. It's popping off. It has over 10K views right now, and it's just climbing and climbing. So we decided that we would do a much more in-depth showcase, go over all the LPs, all the units, and everything possible in this mod, just so that you can get a good idea for what is going on. So of course, literally kicking things off, you can notice that we start out with Flood-infected Sangheli/Grunt starting units here. Really cool infantry units. Look at them, the way they're glowing and whatnot. They're just absolutely just gnarly. Like the convulsing ugliness of the Flood is very well portrayed here in some of the units that they actually already produced in Halo Wars 2 and just didn't really utilize. So this is something that Blackandfan has gotten access to and has started putting into this mod here. Of course, we can zoom all the way out as you saw and all the way in. It's a really cool little bonus. You know, I don't want to spoil everything about the mod. So let's get into some buildings here. Of course, I started myself out with like all kinds of supply and power on purpose. So I want to produce some of these. We also get like protector sentinels and things like that, which is kind of cool. Let's get some units out here. We'll see what that looks like. We'll see if we can get some mini bases as well. Alright, so what I think we'll first do is kind of go through all the available units and whatnot, and we'll just kind of see what we have through all the buildings and what we can produce. So of course, you have your normal Flood Squad infected chopper. Both of these units are Flood infected. We'll go over that in just a second as well. We got our Foundry. We actually have infected Marauders, Reaver, and infected Wraith. So the Reaver is normal, but the Marauder and Wraith tank are Flood variants, which is really, really badass. Then of course, through the Apex, since we are the Flood, you know, we have access to all different types of units. We actually have a Nightingale, which is standard. Nothing crazy about that. An infected Banshee, so Flood variant of the Banshee, a Shroud, and then a Flood variant of the Blisterback, which I'm sure a lot of you guys will really, really love. It's really, really cool. We'll just ignore the combat going on in the map. I'm getting rushed by a vulture. It's casual. We also have Elite Enforcers, which are actually infected. Carrier Forms, which are, you know, just like, say, back in the classic version of Halo, right? Of course, whenever you have an infected carrier form, whenever you run into them, they explode and then a bunch of little guys spawn. And of course, we have Elite Rangers, which are also infected. It's a standard issue with Rangers. And then this one's really interesting. So this is literally an infected Spartan, which has a railgun, but they're just anti-vehicle. Really, really cool stuff. And of course, out of the War Council, we have infected ODSTs, which is just badass. Then we also have an abomination, which we'll talk about in just a sec. Let me get some more upgrades here, and then we'll go through all of the units individually. I'm going to make one of every infected form, because, you know, the standard ones you already know. And then we'll take a look at that army here in just a sec. Okay, so now we're actually going to be getting into the units themselves. I'd have to say this is fantastic. Blackandfan was able to take these models directly from the game and then import them over. There were some files that were never even utilized, and I'll point them out here, and there's some really, really, really cool units here. Let's just go right into it, I guess. So let's start with the infantry here. So of course you have your starting unit, the Flood Squad. We take a look at them here. Let's get up close and personal with these guys, right? You see, it's just, as we said in the beginning, some grunts and a Sangheli. Really cool starting unit. They're very traditional. And you also have Elite Enforcers here, just like the Arbiter, but now they're all infected. And including, like, even these models were actually created, which I find to be really awesome, alongside Awakening the Nightmare. So they even have, like, say, the Plasma Caster and things like that. Everything else is loaded in here. It's really, really, really cool. You also have Elite Rangers here, which are also just really badass. Standard issue Ranger Squadron with a bunch of carbines. Then you have infected ODSTs, which are just gnarly. Like, look at these guys. So they have all the standard issue stuff. One even has a sniper rifle. So this is actually the Operation Spearbreaker ODST squad, I believe. And of course, they are infected. And in the background here, let's take a look here. So this is an infected Spartan, in my opinion. I know some people might disagree with that, but I honestly believe that it is. It has the railgun in hand and everything. So it looks like it's the infected Spartan from Omega Team. Even has the shoulder pads to boot. Really, really interesting that they had this model created. I wonder, like, what they plan to do with that. But it's just crazy. This is an anti-vehicle unit. Of course, here's another Flood Squad. Here's two of the anti-vehicle guys. And look how fast they move, too. Like, it's not just because I'm zoomed in. Like, look how fast he runs. It's just absolutely remarkable to me. Rangers again, and here is the last one, which is the infected infantry. So this guy is just a flood carrier form. So, you know, like, you could actually say if you hit him, he'll drop a bunch of flood spores, and they'll start running around and actually trying to affect things, which is really, really cool. And there's a whole nother realm of units that are flood based, so this is like just the entry level. I'm just giving you guys surface level of what we got here. Now let's move on to the vehicles themselves. They're really cool as well. Right here we have the infected Wraith Tank and the infected Blister, or I'm sorry, not Blister Bag, Marauder. Really, really cool stuff. This is just, you know, straight out of the Halo Wars campaign. Look how they're just tweaking. Like, look at them. They're just, like, literally shaking and convulsing. I just think it's absolutely wild. Like, they have flood mass, say, in the turret itself to make it work. Really, really cool stuff. Wraith Tank there. And then, of course, last but not least, we do have the infected air units. These are 100% controllable, 100% functioning. Here's your infected Blisterback, which I'm sure you guys have seen from the campaign as well. It's just crazy, like, the way they're shaking. And then this Banshee here. This is really, really cool. I think the Banshee might be one of the coolest overall. Just looks so badass. He even nodded at me when I said that. And last but not least, for the base building units, I'm going to go over to the highlight, the kit and caboodle here, is the Abomination. So the Abomination are those big gnarly guys in Terminus Firefight that you just hate to deal with. These guys are just absolutely insane. Really, really strong and OP, in my opinion, for this mod especially. Like, they can just one-shot certain things. Like, I'll try not to take out this is an easy AI, but like, he like one-shots units. It's just absolutely astonishing how good he is. Like, he's just gonna walk over here. Like, he just casually strolls over here. Siege turret? Okay, you know, let's just take a look at that. That's it. Oh no, it's one shot. Oh man, and even the splash damage. Look at that. That supply pad is gonna go down at the same time. So yeah, you have an idea. Also, I believe everything in this aura gets immediate healing. He can heal friendly flood units, as well as he has a special like seismic impact Y ability. I wonder if we can actually get that showcased here. Might be able to show it off here on this generator. Yeah, here we go. Watch this, just like boom. It's just crazy. And then I believe everything in the aura does get like, say, buffs in terms of like attack and movement speed and things like that. But he is really, really slow. Really hard to, in my opinion, really, really hard to actually make something like this balanced. Alright, so let's get into the more fun aspects of it, which are the flood-based leader powers. Of course, you got all kinds of things here, which is just really, really cool. I'm really stoked that they did something like this. I'm actually going to send these Reavers over here, see if I can get them killed. I have too many units right now. So, there's this one that I'm, like, absolutely astonished by. I think it's, like, easily the coolest feature of the entire game. Is that you can actually drop in a base wherever you'd like. So, like, let's say I want a base here. I can drop in a hive base right in this location. And then I can produce special flood units across the board here, which is just really, really badass. So now we have all the units that come out of the hive base, totally functional. So let's go through every single one. So of course you have the Infester, which is pretty cool. The Flood Spores, and of course the Spawner, the Flood Tank. So this one's really, really badass. Of course you have all the same features that you would in the campaign for all these guys. But then last but not least, an unutilized unit here. These Flood Cedars. Like, look how fast they move. Really, really, really fast. And just overall, a really cool unit as well. Like, it's really awesome that we have all these units at our disposal. Like, Blackandfan just really did great. Let's go through the rest of the leader powers here. So we got Egg Drop. Just drop a bunch of eggs, you step on that, they explode. And of course you have Infected Blisters, which will drop down right here as well. So these guys are just really, really badass. You can't tell them to go anywhere, but boom! Really cool. So, you know, say all these just kind of sit here in stasis. Then you're able to, say, just pick them whenever you'd like. And then, of course, we have the Flood Root, which I kind of want to spawn over here, see what it does. So it's just like the classic Flood Root from Halo CE, or Halo CE, Halo Wars 1. And it's just like, look at this. It gives you it has like immense range. And look how much damage it does. Like, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And insane. Love this unit, actually. I've got a Grizzly Battalion here. I'm not sure what this does. I wonder if it's an actual Grizzly Battalion or an infected one. Nearly froze my game right there. Drop it in the Grizzlies. Oh, that's so awesome. They are infected. Oh my god, that's actually so dope. I didn't know that. Okay, so as you can see, you got the Grizzlies, baby. Okay, let's drive over here so you can actually see what's going on. Whew, getting whiplash from this. Really, really badass unit. The flood infected Grizzly tank. Look at the little coil around the tank turret. That's so cool. Oh. That's just really, really cool. And it's all flood mods, so it's all a part of this LP here. So increases health and damage for all units by 15%. It's just a factor, right? And this guy can take down a base, so maybe we'll just we'll push it with all of our other units, you know? Unbreakable. So I think that is all individual flood LPs. Like you could just block a route. Like look, you literally can't traverse this, I don't think. Yeah, you literally can't. Like you can block alleyways and whatnot with it, which is just absolutely insane to me. And with every base you create, you actually up your population limit. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna have the abomination go wreck house real quick. Get these guys off our side of the map. Yeah, so these can only attack vehicles, it seems, which is probably a good thing. Try to have some balance, right? You can actually sacrifice them and whatnot too, which is cool. Oh. Like he could just hit the base and just kill it. Flood root. Give it the smackdown. Kaboom! And so the more bases you own, the more your army population does go up. That's equally so for these. This is just so fun. To like drop buildings wherever you want is just something I've wanted for literally all eternity. Alright, let's get aggressive here. You do really have to zoom out for like this guy. We're gonna push a base here. See what happens. Let's keep this guy on standby. Flood Grizzlies! Just makes my night. Look how fast they move, man. All these units here. Let's see what the Cedar does. So yeah, the Cedar just kind of shoots. Just pop shots. Nice, okay. I thought my computer just had a hard crash there. I'm gonna hit the Y button with literally everything here. So I think oh, so he pops out more Cedars. Oh, that's crazy. So he just keeps producing more units. That's wild. Let's drop a base here, you know? We'll just stake that. Yeah, we increased our population size now, so now we can make more units. Really, I just want a second abomination to come out and just wreck house. My question to you guys is, what is your favorite unit out of this showcase? Like, what do you find to be the most badass thing now that I've showed you all these elements? I think for myself, oh cool, the tentacles on a timer. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Flood ODSTs are probably my favorite, and the Grizzly tanks are of course just so sick. so sick. We have these infected blisters. Drop them down again. They'll just pop out some units. Get a bunch of flood spores going on. I totally forgot that this guy could spawn things. Like all these Cedars just popped out of him during that engagement. That could be something special. Flood spawner, of course. All right, so let's just push this base, and then we'll get the W real quick. Let's just get like a cool, badass thumbnail moment. You know what I'm saying? That Jackrabbit just picked the wrong place to go. Look at all my flood. Okay, so this is interesting. So all of my flood spores are actually coming together now after I spawned those blisters there, that's very interesting. I wonder if they have like a hive mind mentality. I mean, makes sense, but like in a coding sense, they must just follow the other flood spores. That is quite interesting. Maybe that's something you could utilize in game. Of course, here's the abomination just healing literally everything. Let's drop in a flood root here. Drop in some eggs. Let's just hit this base. Watch how fast this thing drops, man. It's insane. The abomination. Boom! The flood tentacles too at the same time. Got Grizzly Battalion back. Let's just call it some more. Why not? I really enjoy that. That Mortis is the voiceover for it too. He's easily the coolest voiceover. And there you have it. That was the Flood Showcase. That goes over basically every single unit, LP, and everything that is unique to the Flood leaders here. I hope you guys really enjoyed that gameplay. Really, really fun to do. Captain Cutter on Easy AI got smacked. And there you have it. Guys, if you want to check back, we're going to be dropping a created video. So the Prometheans are the next leader we're going to do. Then after that, we're going to be doing the Separatists or the Heretics. So that should be really fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Slick from Breaking the Clutch, and we'll see you guys next time.